Hey, what's up, everyone? Good to see all the comments in the chat. We're just about ready to roll here. Our guest is joining us in just a minute. And yeah, we'll be ready to roll. We're going to get some exciting stuff going. I just got confirmation. It's on the way. So let me just also stop that damn beeping on my phone because that's going to be very annoying throughout the call. But yeah, let us know where you're chiming in from, all that fun stuff while we're waiting just this last moment, and then we'll be good to go. Then we're going to hear some exciting stuff about the new Lemon project. So if you guys are all set for that, I know I'm pumped. Definitely pumped about this stuff, so hold up. Hi. Hey, Derek, how you doing, man?
Hey, I'm doing good. How are you?
Doing great. Well, friends, tonight, we're live streaming, just about to introduce you, man. All good. All right, guys, good evening and welcome, or good afternoon, wherever you're calling in from. I know some of you are hoping Jason was here, but he's coming tomorrow, so don't worry about it. But that's all right. We've got an awesome guest today who's here to share some exciting stuff with us. As you heard on a call a couple nights ago, Colin and Derek are very involved with helping the onboarding of the L2 project. So that's really exciting. So, Derek, we're excited to have you, man. Let's get rolling and talk about the L2 projects. What do you think is going to happen? What are we going next? All that fun stuff.
I think we have a very bright future in front of us. There is a lot of good things, and a lot of stuff happening. Jason, I don't know that he gets enough credit with all the things that are happening and how much work he's putting in here and the time he's sacrificing away from his family to make sure things are moving forward. It just seems like every day things are moving and there's more opportunities and more things that are coming into the ecosystem and are going to be good things for us. So I'm very, very excited. I want to, there was a couple things said on the call a couple nights ago. I just want to make sure I apologize if I caused any doubt or hesitancy for anybody for any comments I made. I know I may have mentioned an anchor or two that holding things back. I want to make sure everybody knows that I am DEBTBox for life. I believe everything's moving forward. So I just want to apologize if there was any hesitancy in my belief of Shad and Roy and the things they're doing moving forward. I believe in DEBTBox. I'm a top 10, top 20 holder in almost every project. So I'm a big believer that everything that we're doing is going to be moving forward in a very profound and very strong way. So I want to make sure I don't want there to be any doubt. I believe in both parties moving forward. DEBTBox has a bright future with what Shad and Roy are doing with oil and gas and all the other projects and the things Jason are doing with Lemonade. Everything is going to be moving forward in a very positive way. The things I'm most excited for and the things that Colin and I are doing is we're working with the contacts and partners here to be able to provide everybody a really easy way. Jason's comments that are going to be coming tomorrow night are going to be talking about banking and how easy it's going to be to onboard and the connections and the services there. So I'll leave that for tomorrow for what Jason's going to unveil and be very positive that way. But it's going to make it really easy to onboard and whatnot that way. But the things that Colin and I are working on directly are to onboard companies. So with the contacts and the partners here in the UAE, we're going to be able to streamline everybody's process to set up an L2 company. So if you want to get set up in the UAE so that you have a tax-free zone, and we learned a little bit about that. So if you set up an entity here in the UAE and all of your revenue is generated outside of the UAE, call it online services or physically outside of the UAE, there's zero tax. If you provide services within the UAE, and I don't know what the margins are, maybe 15% of your business is here, then there's potentially that corporate tax that just got instituted that I think is 9%. But if you don't do any business here in the UAE, so if you're in South Korea or China or South America or the US or anywhere else, and you set up here in the US and your services are provided outside of the UAE, there's zero tax. So we just got exclusive rights to Ras Al Khaimah, one of the Emirates. and we're going to be setting up entities there. So our platform or our service is going to be setting up people that want to launch L2 projects, and it's going to be in one of the free zones here that we got exclusive rights to. And it's going to help people set up so that they are then right integrated with the bank that we're going to be partnered with and the onboarding system for crypto, and allowing people to integrate directly with our platform and the partners and people here, so that it's very streamlined and a very easy service. When Colin and I came out in December this last year, you know, our cost was probably $18,000, and we're pretty good negotiators, maybe not the best negotiators, but we got that down from like 26,000 down to 18. And I know some of the other people that came out, they got it down to maybe 12, but it didn't include the banking. So what we're doing is, for anybody that wants to launch an L2 project and be set up in a tax-free jurisdiction, we're going to be in the neighborhood of probably like 12,000, because of the partners and the contacts that Jason are providing here in the UAE. We've got those costs down dramatically, probably a third. What we were looking at. Terry, are you there?
Yeah, you were just breaking up a minute. I don't know if it's my end or yours, but yeah, we're back. We're good to go.
Okay, the Wi-Fi was a little weird. How far back did I lose you?
Just like a sentence or two.
Okay, so with the contacts and the partners that we have here, we're going to be integrated with government services and the people directly, with being able to set up so that if you want to come to the UAE and you want to get a tax-free business set up, and you want to get in the UAE for residency, we're going to be able to get that cost down a lot better than most, and probably a third to 50% less than what a lot of the market value is for other people out there, because of the connections that Jason's been able to bring to the table, and just the people that we've been able to meet. So it's been a really good experience for us here. We're really excited for what we're going to be able to do. And I know I've been rambling for a second, so maybe I'll back to you, Terry, see what questions you have and see what I can answer for you.
Yeah, well, let's start with talking about like how easy is the process going to be, right? Because we all want to see lots and lots of L2 projects, and we have to reduce the friction for them getting onboarded if we want those large numbers. So I think it's great that you guys are doing that. So how fast and easy is it going to be, like if someone listening today wanted to be one of those projects?
You know, I'm going to be putting my contact info out there for people to reach out and work that. So one of the things that I'm going to be doing in this coming week is getting my banking set up with the bank that we're going to be partnered with within the Lemon Bank, or the stuff that Jason's going to be talking about tomorrow, a little more in depth. We're working on getting that set up to where we'll be able to accept payments and get that set up pretty streamlined, so that when people say, hey, I want to set up my L2 and I want to do this, it's going to be as streamlined of a process as possible. So we're going to provide, with those that want to come here, it'll take care of your residency, it'll take care of your health screening, your biometrics, helping you get your bank set up so that you have the funding mechanism, and then the onboard ramp for the micro loans or the loans that'll take place to help fund your business and why you would want to launch an L2 project. And I think that we'll get that down to where we're in the neighborhood probably $13,000 for you to come out, and that'll probably be like a 7 to 14 day period. So you take care of your airfare. We're looking at providing the accommodations for your hotel and your onboarding here, so that we can provide that agenda. Hey, what do you got to do to go get your health screening, get your residency set up, get your business set up, get your business banking set up, and everything through, so that you're fully accepted and ready to accept payments within your business, and everything through that whole process. So it's something that we're working on that'll be fully integrated with the Lemon powered by Debt Chain ecosystem day one.
And so, Derek, that's another question. You just mentioned people getting funding and stuff and reasons why people would want to be an L2 project. I've noticed that's been like an ongoing theme with people for a while. Like people are still struggling to understand why someone would want to be an L2. We know why we want them there, but what are some of the advantages for people who want to come on chain?
Well, it brings a lot of awareness to your company, for one. I mean, the partners and the companies that are going to be involved with this are worldwide. So depending on your type of business or what you're wanting to bring to the table, there's a lot of notoriety, a lot of exposure that's going to come to your business by being part of this platform. Some of the partners that have been spoke about, I mean, we're going to have hundreds of thousands of integrated partners within a matter of weeks when this goes live. Hundreds of millions that will be exposed and advertised to within a matter of weeks of when this goes live. The partners that we've met here are some of the most powerful people in the world, and when they talk money, I mean, I've been listening to Jason, and the amount of money that they're looking at throwing at different projects is unreal. And so, and the amount of backing and the things that they're doing, I mean, Jason and I are looking at going and doing a round of funding that, I mean, most people wouldn't believe. The people that he's going to be going to, I need to be careful what I say because Jason's going to be the one that wants to disclose who we're going to talk to and how much money's being raised for the funding for the L2s. I know the goal is to be raising at least $500 million in the next few weeks to help fund those loans to these L2 projects. The bank that we're partnering with that'll be integrated with our system is going to be providing those loans to these businesses so that they can help launch their businesses or make it worth it for them to tokenize and pay in royalties so that it'll grow that LEM token or debt token and help grow this ecosystem to something that most people just don't understand what that's going to do for the masses. When we walk through that, the benefits, it's the exposure. When you have marketing platforms that are going to put your company or your product in front of 800 to 900 million people a month, you're going to want to be on this platform. You're going to want to have the exposure of the people that are going to be part of this ecosystem. I think people have drastically underestimated what Jason is working on and what he is putting together that is going to make this one of the greatest launch pads and for launching an L2 or a product on the internet or on not on the internet, on blockchain. Right now, I mean, people look at launching companies on the Web3, and it's one thing just say, yeah, I've got a blockchain, but what's the exposure? What's the notoriety? What's the advertisement value in that? But when you can launch on a platform and you've got 100 or 900 million people seeing your project launch on the blockchain every month, and I hope I don't get in trouble for sharing this because the people that are going to be, well,
just a little bit. Come on, man. Tell us where some of this exposure might come from. Give us a hint.
There's when the name comes out, it's going to be very apparent why that exposure is the way it is. So that's going to be something. Jason and Jake are talking this campaign over the next several days. There's going to be those partners or the people that are investing and putting into this that are going to become very apparent very soon, and they're very well-known names, and so it's going to be very exciting. But when somebody launches on the L2, you've got the exposure of, like I said, hundreds of millions of people that are going to see those NFTs to where they sell out quickly, and you've got a marketplace for your product that is, I think, second to none. So depending on the business, I mean, there's a lot of advantages because now you've got the backing of some of the most powerful contacts and partners in the world, in my opinion.
So I know we'll let Jason, we'll let the Andersons talk about some of those household name brands. Obviously, I know you and I have heard them, and I don't know about you, but my tongue's sore from biting it for far too long, and I'm sure you're probably feeling the same way. But maybe you could drop maybe a few hints about some of the L2 projects and industries that are coming on board. Would you feel comfortable with dropping a few hints in that arena?
You know, I'll do what I can. That's a loaded question.
That's what a sore tongue looks like, folks. That's what a sore tongue looks like right there.
I know that the contacts and the partners here, they brought on, I think just today, there's 7 companies that are going to be partnering and launching L2 projects once this goes live. So again, I mean, once the technology's built and everything's a plug and play and ready to click, that'll be when it goes live. I believe that goal is July 1st. I know they were pushing for June 15th, but there's a lot of moving parts and a lot of things that have to go in place. So I think July 1st is kind of that tentative go live date. And I hope I don't get in trouble for saying that, but I know that was kind of expressed as the goal of go live. And I think that number's upwards of 20 to 30 of local companies and brands that will be part of that lemon brand and paying in royalties day one. So you're going to see a lot of projects launch that are branded lemonade that are already in royalty. They're already in that profitability stage that just because they want the notoriety and the platform are going to be paying in royalties. And that's going to be, I mean, it's unbelievable. The partners and the brands and the companies that are coming on with this, it's truly phenomenal.
Yeah, it's very exciting. And I have heard the July 1 thrown out, and I've heard some different things. I think we're still going to see some exciting stuff before then. I think people need to realize that. I think I don't know. I was under the impression maybe it's more of a bigger launch day, but I think we're going to get lots of stuff in between there. So that's exciting as well.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's kind of the go live date, but I mean, talking about the launch event, you know, all the memes that everybody's putting together, there's a big plan in place because, you know, there's going to be a big event that I believe is probably going to be more like October time when there's some very big crypto events happening here in Dubai, and those memes and those memes that everybody are putting out, they're going to be played at a very public venue, and it's going to be something that is known worldwide in a very profound way, and I couldn't be more excited. If you followed me on Instagram, you saw what Colin and I did. You know, the places that we went to, the events that are going to happen. It's going to be, this is going to be something for the ages. The partners here are unreal. You know, Jason, every day as we're talking, yeah, we got this deal, or we've got these people that just signed on a letter of intent, or the memorandum of understanding, or MOU, and different things with these different partners and people coming in. Every day, Colin and I sit down with Jason and we're talking through this stuff, and it's like our minds are being blown at a different level every day, at just the level of partners and contacts and the people coming into this ecosystem, and you know, the lemon brands for perfume and clothing lines and banking and resorts and golf courses and all these different things that are coming into the platform that will be paying royalties to different projects and different tokens. It's just unreal, and it really is exciting to know. You know, Jason's been working his ass off, and it's hard to imagine. For me, I guess it's easier why I'm here, but for everybody outside of the UAE right now, it's hard to understand, even being here, I guess, how hard he's been working and the connections and the partnerships that are being put in place. This is phenomenal, and I can't understate, or I can't emphasize enough the partnerships and the the contacts and the people in play here, as these get to be disclosed and told to the public, like the names, it's just unreal. It's
Yeah,
very,
I've heard
very
some of them.
exciting
Crazy.
what's coming ahead, right? I mean, you've heard it. So, I mean,
Yeah.
we can't say it till it's gone live because you don't want to offend people, and you can't be premature with what goes out until it's inked and fully disclosed and fully contract written and everything that way. But with the people that are coming out, I mean, it's just unreal. I mean, this is unprecedented in crypto from what I'm aware of, and for everything I previously experienced in the DEBTBox ecosystem. I mean, this is a million times. I mean, it's just out of this world, the things that are going to be coming out.
Guys, did you hear that? Derek just said 1,000,000 times more than what we used to envision and get excited about. Even if we're 10x, I mean, hey, I like what's coming. And I've heard the names too. I'm dying to share with you guys, but it's the Anderson story to tell. So I'm going to participate in the slow rolling and slow teasing, and I'll be leaning on him to get him to cough it up soon. So that's good. Hey, Derek, while we're waiting for another question, does anyone want to chime in the group chat about any guesses that you had on that little graphic that Colin posted in the group of which kind of businesses or industries you thought were in there? With them doing that. Derek, while we're seeing if anyone wants to chime in on a few guesses on that thing just to get them engaged, did you have I don't know, are you hearing anything else in the past few days that you might feel comfortable sharing before we check out and bring on Jason tomorrow?
In regards to what specifically?
People are just hungry for any kind of lemon seeds, any kind of drops, anything you got, man.
It's been quite the play on words for the seeds of information that comes out. But Colin and I, our main objective is working with our contacts here to streamline that onboarding process to help people register in a tax-free zone, one of the free zones here in the UAE. We just signed, or hopefully we'll be signing here very quickly, with being able to have exclusive rights for one of the free zones here. And it's very exciting because being set up in the UAE, depending on how your business is registered, it's a tax-free zone. And so I don't know what the different tax jurisdictions are around the world, but I know within the United States, I mean, taxes suck. But to set up a business here that you can do online and know that you're in a tax-free jurisdiction, because in the UAE, as long as the business isn't local or within that zone, or from what I understand, it's tax-free. So you're not paying any taxes for services or products that you sell outside of the UAE. And that's the main thing. So, you know, there's some really good benefits and perks that are going to be coming with the banking partner that Jason's going to be talking about tomorrow. So that as you stake your cash or LEM tokens, there's going to be a lot of benefits that come with this partnership. And being set up here in the UAE is going to be the best possible situation that you can be in to launch that business and be able to participate in all the advantages of that bank and perks and privileges. And so it's just really, really exciting. The things that Jason's been able to put together in the last several months or weeks, and what he's working on, it's just really exciting and unprecedented. The banking platform that Colin and I work directly with, that we're in the process of setting up our accounts with right now, it's insane, the perks and benefits that come with this. And so I'm probably going to get yelled at tomorrow by Jason for talking that stuff, because he's going to go into that in a lot of detail tomorrow. And I know Jake wanted that part of the drip king tomorrow, so I apologize in advance that I'm excited and I'm talking about that stuff, but it'll get everybody excited for the banking stuff that's coming, and the partnerships and platform on that side. But for us to help businesses set up, it's going to be a very streamlined service. I know for Colin and I, when we were trying to set up our businesses, nobody really knew what to do. We didn't really know what to expect. So we came here blind. And, the first day it's like, okay, you got to do your health exams. So it's like, okay, we go and, the health exams are only a 10, 15-minute process. And then it's like, okay, wait for further instructions. And it's like, okay, so we're at the hotel on pins and needles. Okay, what's next? Excuse me. What's next? And then the next day, it's like, okay, you got to be here at this time the following day for your biometrics, which is your fingerprints, your retinal scan, and the different things for residency. It's like, okay, so we do that, and then it's waiting on pins and needles for, okay, what's next, and they didn't really give us great insight. And the other couple people that we know came over and set up. It was kind of a similar experience. And then we get that, and it's like, okay, so we get a residency card, and it's like, okay, how do we set up for our bank account? And it was a royal pain in the ass. And to be honest with you, we still haven't got our bank account set up from the service that we paid for. I mean, we paid $18,000 to get our residency and business set up and a bank account, and we still haven't got our bank account 6 months later because it's a royal pain in the ass. And so we went through that, and we're still working on that. But the process that we're working with now, it's going to be something that, I mean, the first contact we talked to, it's like, oh, 3 days, 100% 3 days. And the other guy's like, it's like maybe worst case, let's say 7 to 10. So I think this is going to be something that we're looking at for people that want to come over and get registered to set up, get their residency, get an entity set up here so that they can funnel their business here and do their tax strategy systems for strategic tax planning and what they want to do for their businesses for all those good tax purposes. We're going to be able to get that done for in that neighborhood of about 12 grand for banking, and you'll have your debit card, credit card, and things tied to that as part of that service. We'll help with some of the accommodations to make sure that you know what to expect with a really good itinerary of saying, hey, you put your down payment down of half. We'll schedule you for when to come out. What's this going to look like? Okay, we'll give you an itinerary of what your 7 to 14 days will look like here, so that you know what to expect. Provide you with some of the touristy things that you want to do. If it's the Burj Khalifa, if it's a dinner cruise, if it's whatever that is. Our partners here have, or our contacts here have, travel and accommodations for tourism and things like that. So it'll be something that we're able to provide good resources. So if you want to do this, it's like, hey, bring the family out, make this a vacation, make this a time, because the actual necessities of setting up your business really don't take that much time. It's a lot of it'll happen before you come, but you do have to be here for 7 to 14 days for that residency piece to acquire that. So we'll provide that to make it really easy for people. And I'm excited because as I've talked to Jason, he's getting ready to go to Asia, Africa, South America, all over the world in promoting these things. And Colin and I will be traveling with him to help promote getting set up for being an L2 and what that system will be in that process, so that we can make it really streamlined and easy for people. So once they sign up, we'll have a portal of some kind that you can provide all the documentation, business plan, those things set up. And that's going to be the best way for getting funding for those L2 projects, because the blox lending or the banking that Jason's going to talk about in more detail tomorrow, that's providing the funds and the loans for those, this is going to be the best and most streamlined process to get that. And we're going to help funnel people through that so that they can help launch and grow their businesses. I'm an entrepreneur at heart. I started my first business when I was 22, and I've been self-employed since just before my 22nd birthday. And the last 18, 20 years, it's been a ride. And one of the biggest stressors or unknowns or hesitancy is you don't know what you don't know. And so that's what we want to take away for people, is the hesitancy or the unknown of setting this up. And we're going to be working directly with the people in charge of with the contacts here that streamline it so you have complete certification, complete confidence, and complete comfort in knowing that you're set up and structured the right way for tax compliance, business and reporting requirements. The services that we're going to help incorporate there will that we're partnering with our contacts here will cover things like all of your accounting and bookkeeping and annual reporting. And it just makes it easy for anybody that wants to come on board. It takes the stress of the unknown. Because I know for me, when my first business was cutting concrete, it wasn't in bookkeeping, it wasn't in accounting, it wasn't in banking. And when I got out and I was doing custom stonework for a big property up in Sun Valley, Idaho, you know, I made my money by knowing how to cut stone and work my hydraulic equipment to the best I could. And the hours I spent at the end of the week trying to do accounting or bookkeeping was exhausting because it was time away from my wife and children. And I hated it. And so when you're able to just focus on what you know best, whatever your business is that you want to launch, the last thing you want to worry about is compliance and bookkeeping and whether or not you're structured the right way. And so that's my goal in helping people launch these L2s is I want to take the stress away of knowing that compliance is taken care of. You have the proper structure, you have the proper setup and accounting and bookkeeping and reporting things in place for the UAE so you can focus on what you know best, whether that's tree trimming or home building or restaurants or selling knickknacks or sweaters or whatever your business is. You focus on what you know how to do best and let us take the things off your plate that you're not an expert in, like registering in the UAE and staying in compliance for all the taxes and reporting so that you get to keep as much of the money as you're making as possible.
Right. And then the rest, the digital side of it and getting on the blockchain, then it's just getting on there and benefiting and rolling, and
right.
We'll all benefit in the ecosystem.
Right. And that's honestly the exposure to the ecosystem. That's the least of my stress right now. I mean, with the partners and the people that Jason's working with right now, the exposure on these NFTs, I don't think anybody really can grasp at this time the exposure we're going to have to selling these NFTs. It really is a sight to behold, the amount of partners and major players and famous people and companies that are known very, very, very well. These NFTs are going to fly. It's going to be a sight to behold when these things start going. It's going to be fun to watch.
When we get to the day when we're just doing even just one project a day that's minting out, I mean, that is going to be just incredible to watch. And we might go beyond that. Who knows?
Well, I think it's going to be a lot faster because, right now I think Binance, I think the number that was thrown out there is 1,000 a month on Binance of new projects that get launched, right? I don't know. I don't know what that number is specifically, but I know that's the goal being set here is that we can launch 1,000 L2s and we can help those. Whether I don't know what colonized part of that's going to be on those 1,000 companies because some of them may already be registered in a jurisdiction that's advantageous for them. But for those that want to be in a tax-free zone and registered in the UAE for the protections and the benefits that are provided with the banking partners and the systems and things in place here, we're ready to help onboard that. But the goal is better than 1,000 a month. So, I mean, 1,000 a month divided by 30. I mean, you're talking a lot of projects launching every flipping day. That we're going to have the exposure of hundreds of millions of people, with some of the partners that are going to be announced day one when the LEM token goes live. It's going to be unreal, and I don't think people really grasp that yet. But they're going to find out real quick how great the things that are being put together right now by Jason and his team really are.
Do you guys hear that? I think you just poured a little moonshine in your lemonade to wake you up. You got no excitement on that? Talking about 1,000 projects a month on L2. Do you guys know how much that would change literally everything in your life? I mean, crazy, amazing, love it.
Yeah,
Well, with
it's going to be a very fun sight to watch.
That's insane to watch. If we ever get to that point, we get to a fraction of that point, it's going to be like every day be the most exciting thing ever. Good luck on not sleeping, guys. I mean, jeez. Yeah. All right. Bill got it. Bill got the little hit in his oh, they move so fast, these things. Yeah. All right. Well, with that said, friends, I hope you got a lot of value from it. We promise we try and keep it around 30 minutes and keep these in sound bites. We're going to keep them coming. You guys heard Jason's coming tomorrow with some real news, exciting news, tangible news. If we can solve fiat on and off ramps, crypto on and off ramps, and make the banking thing easy for everybody, that changes everything in crypto. And it's going to get excited for all the individuals, but also all the companies and the businesses. And it becomes a major attraction point to this chain versus being on other chains, right? So I'm really excited about it. Derrick, thank you so much for jumping in. We really, really appreciate you jumping in. If you have any closing remarks, the floor is yours, my friend.
I appreciate you, and I appreciate you giving us a platform to talk. I know Colin, it's about 11:40 at night here, and I know Colin was pretty zonked. I know he was going to take the floor tonight, but he was a little wore out. So I think he'll probably hop on probably in another couple days. He'll maybe jump on with you and talk a little bit more. But I appreciate your time. I appreciate being able to update the community on all the good things we're working on. And just know there are so many good things to come. I couldn't be more excited, and I'm just happy for everything DEBTBox and Lemonade moving forward. This truly is going to be a sight to behold. So just big thank everybody for all the involvement and everything moving forward. Appreciate the support, and onward and upward.
Very cool, man. Well, you let Colin know whenever he returns back to having a pulse. We can jump on it anytime if he wants to. We'll get him on.
Sounds good.
All right, guys. Have a great night. Everyone take care. Thanks again. We appreciate you, Derrick.
Yeah.
Have a good one.
Thanks, Terry.